Welcome to the Love and Victory Show with Val, where we will bring you candid conversation. In each conversation, we will talk about real life ups and downs while tackling unresolved matters. We will also unmask issues and truly speak straightforward and candid about our needs and brokenness, while allowing ourselves to exhale so that we can become victorious. This is a place where you can be open to the possibilities of living life in abundance while gaining tools to become bold and complete. So let's get to it. We are back with the Love and Victory Show with Val, and we have our fantastic guest sitting in here. Do y'all see them? We got some new people sitting in here. We got Miss Tiffany Washington, all the way from Arkansas.
Don't say Little Rock.
I'm not going to say, I know wait, she's from Conway. Conway. So we got Conway in the house, Arkansas. And then we have RJ.
Yeah.
RJ is in the house today.
I'm in the house today, y'all.
All the way from
Seattle, Washington.
Yeah, boy,
but I live here. I live here.
But he is all the way from Seattle, Washington.
Yeah.
Right. Welcome to the show.
Well,
absolutely. It's a pleasure to be here.
Well, I tell you, you got the acronym?
We got the acronym.
You ready to go with the acronym to tell the people what this show is going to be about?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
Okay, so are you guys all tuned in? Again, the show title is Why Go Back for More?
Why go back for more? Wow.
So the acronym is going to break it down to what the show is going to be about. So
exactly. We had somebody ask earlier for a little bit of context. So this should give you a little bit of that context. Our acronym of the day is sabotage.
I just had say you have dropped off. What's going on?
We have dropped off.
We're good? Can we hear?
I think we're fine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think we're fine.
Okay.
Yeah, so the acronym of the day, excuse me, is sabotage. Specifically, we're talking about self-sabotage and how we can get in our own way. So S is for stifle, restrain or stop oneself acting on. A is for arrogant, having or revealing an exaggerated sense of one's own importance or abilities. B is boast, to talk with excessive pride and self-satisfactions about one's achievements, possessions, or abilities. O is obscure, not clear or uncertain. T is toxic, poisonous, having a damaging impact. A is alienate, to cause to be estranged, to make unfriendly, hostile, or indifferent, especially where attachment formerly existed. G is greed, definition of a selfish and excessive desire for more of something than is needed. E is ego, a person's self-esteem or self-importance.
Okay, then.
And I tried to find words that I think, these are all things that I think everybody experiences, everybody goes through, and everybody is guilty of. And it's all things that you're only standing in your own way.
You're blocking your own self from growth and moving forward and just happiness, being at peace.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm going to enjoy this conversation. Now, I do want us to send prayers out to Stephanie. She's under the weather, and she is very disappointed that she could not be here. She is one of our faithful ones on the third Thursday of the month. So, Stephanie, we love you.
We love you, girl.
Having said that, could we have a short little prayer?
Actually, we could.
You know, and I love when I have spirit-filled people on the show that love the Lord.
Who you gonna throw it into this morning?
And that are able and capable of rendering a heartfelt prayer. And I'm glad to have our very own Tiffany Washington here in the building today.
Come on.
That she's going to bring forth
she's feeling
a word of truth.
She's feeling a little
not only for herself, but for Stephanie and the radio show.
Yes, sir.
Lord.
Well, she's a little.
You can do it,
voice, but
you know that you can. There's nothing to it.
She got this.
You can do it.
She got this. We got your tea ready for you, and come on over here with this prayer.
We're gonna pray that voice. She's gonna pray that voice right together herself.
Okay.
Amen.
Are you ready for it? Okay. There you go.
There we go. Come on, little Phyllis.
Like that. All right. Lord God, we thank you for bringing us together today. Lord, we ask that you Touch our dear sister Stephanie, Lord. Heal her body, Lord. Touch her in ways that only you can. By your stripes, she is healed right now in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. And God bless you. I know you had it in you.
It's a little something up in there.
All righty, dear. Well, we're just gonna go ahead and just dive right on in here.
All right.
And so I'm gonna ask, before I get started, I'm gonna ask RJ, tell us a little bit about yourself. Since it's the first time you've been on the Love and Victory Show with Val.
What's up, the Love and Victory Show with Val? My name is RJ, so I am a personality. I am a photographer. I'm a psalmist. I am.
Do you write songs?
So I'm getting there. Okay. I'm getting there. I have really been so focused on just leading worship to the fact where I have not really taken some time to write. So this year, y'all, keep me accountable now. This year, I am planning to at least be in the studio for a new single or something. Okay. So I'm trying to build up something, you know.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's it. I think that. Oh, and I'm a 6th grade teacher.
Oh.
Because I was waiting on you to say that because I think that's a big thing. Yeah, you're actually teaching our youth.
Yes, I am.
So
the next generation is super, super, super important.
So tell me, how does it feel to work with 6th graders?
6th graders are a lot. However, those are their formative years. They're 12, 13 years old. So they're being reintroduced to things with their bodies, reintroduced with things in the world. Once they hit 13, they feel like they're grown, y'all. And so a lot of things are happening with them, but it is, it's a blessing and sometimes it's a curse.
I'm sure it's better than teaching 8th graders though. 8th graders are out of control.
I believe as you go older, you will, as you go older, they just get more and more grown and they want to do what they want to do. And they smarter than you, even though you in their classroom, So
you're doing the teaching and they want to take over.
That's right. They want to take over and tell me what's right and what's wrong, and it has nothing to do with the lesson, right? It has nothing to do with the lesson. But that's how that goes.
Well, hats off to you for feeding and pouring into our younger generation.
Oh, it's an honor to be there.
My daughter that's here, she's 12. Well, she'll be 12 in a few days.
Okay.
So it's interesting to hear you say that because that lets me know, she's not the only one like this.
You thought it was you, huh?
No.
And then I have Miss.
But I also want to congratulate you on everything that you're doing in the gospel field as far as your music and everything. This guy, tell you the truth, he is something special. He got that
He got that
factor. And
I appreciate
you just keep on looking out for RJ. He's gonna be something really, really, he's already special, but he's gonna be really something special real soon. So keep your eye on it. Keep your eye on it.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you.
Look at you. We might have to do something now. Since we're a partner, we have to be careful when we sing, but we're gonna get a song in here.
Okay.
Behind the scenes.
All right, behind the scenes.
Right behind the scenes. We're gonna put it up. Miss Tiffany Washington, tell them who you are.
I am Tiffany, and of course, I am from Conway, Arkansas, and I am a mother of 2. I am the director of revenue cycle management, and I'm excited to be here.
Amen.
All righty then. Well, I think we're ready to go. And if I ask you, I'm going to throw this in the way we do it, RJ. They've been on the show before. You haven't. You have caught some of it. I think he's been on it because he's always faithfully listening and supporting. So he knows how we do things.
He's a great supporter.
He is a big supporter, and I love that about him.
Love that.
So I just throw a question out, and that question turns into a conversation. And you can just jump in wherever you want to.
Okay, cool.
So we're going to take that first one. What does it take for someone to finally decide enough is enough in a relationship? I'm coming right at you, huh? In a relationship. Well, Brother Carter, you want to take it? Because you got this.
I would approach the question a little differently myself.
Well, how would you approach it?
I would say, what does it mean? What's the subject? Why go back for more?
Yeah.
What does that mean to you? Why go back for more?
So you would ask that question before you ask that question.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would want your opinion
but
on that.
But I'm the host.
Well, ask the question then.
He said, "Ask my question. Ask my question
I
now."
love them, y'all. I love them.
I'm actually.
And before we get the conversation going real good, I want you guys to be careful with the table because the mic pick up
Oh, they
everything.
pick up
You put
everything.
your cup on it, you put your phone on it, pick up all that. So go ahead.
That's boss. Keep the housekeeping going.
Come
around here.
on.
Okay, then.
Come on now,
He's the
now,
house.
Brother
I tell
Carter.
you. So, RJ,
Yeah.
what does it take for someone to finally decide enough is enough in a
You
relationship?
ain't asked my question. You asked your own
I asked
question.
my own question.
She said she
What
she
I
the
say?
host. She the host. I don't know what to tell you, bro.
What did I say?
She said she the host. Look at my mouth. She said she the host.
It's the Love and Victory Show with
Yeah,
Val.
with Val.
All right.
Sorry, bro.
Yeah.
So I can only speak for me.
Mm-hmm.
When I got tired,
Mm-hmm.
nothing was growing, everything was the same. I didn't see nothing. I actually visioned myself without the person. When you know that thing when you say, I can't see myself with nobody else. I can't see myself without you. I started to see myself without him.
Cut the crap.
Yeah, cut the crap.
You said, I'm done.
Cut the crap. So I seen myself without him, and I got tired. I got drained, and I was, when you get sick of it.
You was sick of it.
I was sick of it,
You was sick of it.
and so that's how I knew.
Yeah.
After that, it was smooth sailing. After that,
All
Right.
right. Then. What about you, Tiffany?
Ask the question one more time because I'm hearing Brother Carter in my head too at the same time.
Brother Carter is the co-host.
Oh,
Okay,
yes.
when the mic turns
Yes.
to him, he can ask that question. Okay. All right. So, what does it take for someone to finally decide enough is enough in a relationship?
I'm gonna go with RJ too. What he said, when you get excessively tired, when it starts becoming draining, when you realize there is absolutely no growth, you continue to go into a circle. There is a constant,
Cycle.
yes,
yeah,
we're coming back to the same problem over and over and over and over again. When you're done too, like when you can tell that person is not taking any of your concerns and actually hearing it and acting on it.
Yeah.
When they just keep doing that same thing over and over and over, you just like, okay,
Is over.
the relationship is done.
You just standing there hoping for a change when the change you see it's not going to change.
It's not going nowhere.
Also, too, when you're growing and the other person's not
Now that
Yes.
right there.
Stagnant.
stagnant. So if you're dealing with a partner that is stagnant, you're the one going to the counseling. You're the one doing all this stuff for your relationship, and they sitting there.
Right.
It's time to cut.
It's time to go.
It's time
Yeah.
to go. That's
Yeah.
to cut the crap.
You just
that's
get
the cut the
sick and
crap.
tired
That's the
of
cut the
being sick and tired.
Yeah,
That's-
absolutely.
That's a cut the crap.
I had that feeling when I was on crack cocaine back in the 80s.
Okay.
Yeah, I just got so sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Yeah.
And
Come
I
on,
had
man.
to break that relationship, because it was toxic.
That relationship.
That
was.
relationship was killing me.
Poisonous.
Yeah, it was very poisonous.
But
And-
tell your
yeah.
testimony.
Yeah.
Yes. And because we had to cut the crap. Because you were in such a toxic relationship with something that was not good for you.
Yeah.
So I had to make a decision too.
Well, most of the time we keep going back because we keep going back expecting something different. We come back
Insanity.
expecting that first
High.
initial feeling that we had,
Mhm.
in a relationship, and we keep chasing that initial feeling.
Yeah.
Am I preaching to somebody out
Yeah.
there?
You
Ooh.
preaching.
Yeah. So
Okay, then.
and
You
that's
preaching.
that's why we keep going back.
Okay.
Yeah.
All righty. So
So-
then you want to. That was
What's
your
the-
chance to ask your question that you had.
I think he done answered his own question.
I did ask my own
your
question.
own
Yeah.
question.
Yeah.
You didn't ask nobody, but
Oh.
you answered it.
Sorry.
But I got, since the subject is why go back for more, I thought maybe that would be the more obvious question
Okay.
to start off with.
Okay, brother.
So,
Okay, brother.
in your relationship, can I ask a question?
Okay, go ahead, Brother Carter. Y'all know Brother
See,
Carter.
I'm going straight at Sister Washington.
Oh,
'cause
my
she
God.
right here to my left.
See,
right
you
here.
should have
Ooh,
stayed.
I'm glad. Okay, good.
Oh,
Go ahead
Already.
over there.
it's coming for you over here too. We
Okay,
like
bet.
pow pow.
Okay.
The Sister Washington, she went back for more and more and more, and some relationships she's had in her life. So Tell us about it. Why did you go back for more?
I went back because it was what I was here with. It was what I was comfortable with. It didn't push me to grow. It was so I could just be there and just be who I was. Even though it was a very uncomfortable situation for me. It wasn't a happy situation, but because it was familiar, it felt safe, even with it not being safe physically. But it was just like, okay, I've been here for years, why leave and go anywhere?
It's all I deserve.
There you go. It's not thinking any higher of yourself to even grow and say, enough is enough.
Wow.
But it's crazy because the longer you stay in something, the harder it is to leave.
Right.
And then even all the reasons you have to leave, you start compromising and being like, well, that's really not that bad. Or, oh, I'm not going to find no better than that. No way. Or, oh, everybody got their problem.
But could part of that also be that you don't want to deal with you?
So, yes.
So you stay in that relationship because you really don't want to deal with yourself. What you want to do is, well, this is familiar. This is comfortable. I don't want to deal with the brokenness. I'll make it be about them. So I'll stay over there.
She just described the acronym. Self-sabotage.
And I wanted to add one more thing too. It's easy to be with someone who is really what we would call really messed up, because then you never have to look at yourself. Everything is always about them and what they did. And oh, you did this.
That's
and you need mental help.
Yeah.
And it's when those people's problems are so big.
Come on.
Your problems, you can keep those tucked under and nobody knows.
Well, what you're doing is you can mask what's really going on with you. And you can't even, you're not even dealing with the fact that you are the problem because you're choosing to stay in the relationship. So I'm gonna come on over here to RJ. My husband Brother Carter came for Tiffany Washington.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask you, RJ, when you were in that relationship, was it toxic?
Very.
Okay, so
Yes.
So
he was on that crack too.
So it was toxic.
Yes.
And did you have friends and loved ones saying to you, why are you doing it? Or did you just say for yourself, I'm out? Did you have people trying to encourage you? Because sometimes what I mean by that, sometimes the person on the outside can see something that's not healthy for you quicker than you. Well, you see it, but you don't want to accept it. I'll say, prime example, I'm going back to Tiffany when I first met her. Her lashes were so long, all of them there. I mean, I literally
got to do me like
I was like, what is this all about? I couldn't understand why their lashes were so long. I'm like, what are they hiding? And so, okay, shout out to the people that wear long lashes. But anyway,
The long lash girl.
the long lash girl.
Come on.
All right. So RJ.
So no.
Okay.
Because I didn't allow people in.
Mm.
And so after a certain point, I was isolated from a lot of people. From cities, from whatever we was doing, it was by ourselves.
I want to talk about
if
that.
there was some type of connection, it was her connections that we had. So everybody's seen the glitz and the glamour because that's what we posted. And that's but no one really seen us in real time.
Wow. We have a question from someone online. I'm going to come
Julie.
back to that because
This is Julie Bernard, and I want to give her a shout out because I've seen her commenting the past few weeks. I am recognizing you, Julie. So thank you so much for tuning in to the Love and Victory Show. We really, really appreciate it.
yes.
She has a question specifically for RJ, kind of a 2-in-1 question. So I'll say the first one and then we'll show the second one. How do you define a toxic relationship? And then she said, or what kind of behavior makes a relationship toxic?
Man.
They coming for
So
you.
how do I define a toxic relationship? A toxic relationship drains you and never fills you. And so, and when I say fills you, that does not mean they make you happy and they make you skip and they make you, do that.
Yes.
I'm talking about filling from the inside out, not from the outside in. And so it was that's what toxic. And now a toxic behavior is probably something like gaslighting, something like sabotage. It's always you. It is you have the problems, you have the issues, you need to make it up. It's you and never them. Even though they have a lot of things, or maybe a few big things that are an issue.
Okay.
Wow.
All right.
Was that good enough for you, Julie?
Julie, let us know if you like this answer. There is someone else up there that just threw something up there. What is that? I can't see. I don't have my glasses or my contacts on.
Herwin Rickert said, did it help you to recover from your toxic relationship experience by isolating yourself from other people around you?
They coming for you this morning.
So it helped me. It helped my ego.
Now there you go. Be honest with it. It was just your ego.
It helped my ego because I didn't want people to see the ugly. And along with she didn't want to see the ugly. She didn't want other people to see the ugly either. So it didn't help. It didn't help me and my well-being, but it helped my ego and my emotions at the time.
And a lot of times when we're so caught up on how people see us, that's all we put out there.
Yeah.
And that's why I say it's easier to stay in the relationship versus stepping out, and because the problem is you.
Yeah.
Right.
You're attracting these toxic people. Look, this is high. Go ahead.
I just wanted to add too that a lot of what I had to realize about myself is the reason why I was attracting toxic relationships is because I too was toxic myself. I was attracting myself over and over and over again in different forms. And it really took me realizing, like, wait a minute, you know what I really can't stand about you is the dark side of me. And so that was just huge for me to realize, even in the worst of the worst, like those people, you're like, oh no, I'm nothing like them. And then you start realizing, wait, we have a lot of the same behaviors. You know what? Your communication is terrible. And you know what? Mine is too.
Wow.
Like just some basic things of you don't know how to express yourself. You're wondering why don't you open up to me? Well, do you open to anyone that tries to help you? So that was a huge revelation for me.
But I think that's real good because it is you. Again, it goes right back. We are the problem. No, I mean, it's easier to go and look at the other person and talk about what they're not doing. And it's toxic because we bring the toxicity to the relationship. I think. Okay.
The thing is, in my opinion, I think it go back a lot further than that. I think a lot of times we go back for more is because we have daddy issues. We have forgiven our fathers so much for not being there, for not doing excuse me, y'all, not doing nothing in our lives. But I know my daddy listening to this right now. So
candid conversation.
And, yes. And we have given our fathers so much grace. And we find ourselves in relationships that reflect that same grace we've been giving our daddies for so long. And we end up giving that grace to these toxic situations that we be in.
But is it grace or is it
I talked about the fruits of the spirit earlier in the scripture, talking about love, joy, peace, and forgiveness and all these things. And so we forgive our daddies and that have been missing in most of our lives. But we love, that's my daddy. And ain't nobody gonna take that away from me, you know.
So you don't deal with the fact that there was some trauma there.
You don't deal with the fact that you have not held your daddy responsible and accountable for not being there in your life. You know, I ain't shit myself. I know.
You can't cuss.
Why I can't?
Because we're monitored, you can't.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Okay. Well, I know I ain't nothing myself, you know, and I have my daughters and my sons probably listening to the show themselves, and they love me to death. But we have to be honest with ourselves. You know, we tend to keep on trying to get this thing right with other people that we didn't get right with our fathers,
with our own parents.
With our own parents.
Yeah.
Am I making sense?
You made sense there.
Yeah.
You made a lot of sense there. And Abigail, you wanted to jump in on that. Go ahead, Abby.
Yes. So I like what you said about accountability, because I think we've all had a relationship that we knew we probably should have gotten out of way sooner than we actually did.
Mm-hmm.
And I think what makes it hard is to leave that relationship, is to take accountability, is to say, I'm leaving this bad relationship. You're recognizing it. And a lot of people aren't ready for that. Like, it's easy to stay in something. Like you said earlier, Tiffany, you have a person as a scapegoat. You're like, well, anything that I don't like about myself, I can just put onto that person,
Right.
and just keep building it up. And not only are you bringing yourself down, but you're bringing that person down, and then you're both feeling drained at the end of the day.
Right.
Yeah.
And when you leave a relationship, you don't want to hear, "Oh, well, I knew that person wasn't good for you," or you don't want to hear, "Well, what happened? Why did you let that happen so long?" Now it's not that you left. It's more now is accountability for yourself. It's like, man, how many times you gonna go back and why did you do this? Why did you do that? And then now you have to sit back and look at yourself and say, you know what, I did have some issues.
Yeah, and I want to take this opportunity to apologize to the listeners and the viewers out there. I got caught up in my little feeling there talking about the father, so I made a little word come out. So.
It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. It's all
We
right.
love you. We love you.
Okay.
That's my keep it real segment right there.
It's all right. Abigail, you put up the card for me. You have
Yes,
questions for
we
me?
have someone from YouTube. His name is Donald James. He says, I want to know from Val,
Hey, Don.
can a toxic relationship only be found in your love life, or can it be in your family also?
Oh, that's a good one. Actually, and I'm going to say it can be found in any relationship. A relationship doesn't necessarily have to be an intimate relationship.
Yeah.
Right.
It can be a relationship even at your workplace.
Yeah.
Toxic relationship is just an unhealthy relationship, whether in a marriage, whether in a dating, at work, and even sometimes with friends that you know you should have X'd out of your life a long time ago.
Yeah.
So I hope I answered your question, Donald. Please let me know.
And I like what RJ said earlier. How you said, like, when you're feeling drained, when you're giving everything to a person and you're not getting anything in return, that's when any kind of, like you said, any kind of relationship, it's time to cut ties.
Yes. And I think
that's your relationship, even with food.
Yeah.
You know, these are all
That's good.
relationships.
That's
Right.
You know,
It is. Yeah.
You know,
a lot of things can be toxic. Oh man.
I think really, it's nothing wrong with you choosing you. You know, when you've done everything you can to try to work through that relationship, and even if you can't work through it because you're with someone that's reminding you so much of who you are, you may need to step back and get yourself some help so that you can be healthy to come back to that, that person. So, all right.
So can I ask this question?
Sure.
To the ladies out there.
9
times out of 10, will you find yourself attached to a male that's like your father?
Okay, I'll take that.
Yeah.
Okay, so for me, when I first started dating you, when we go back 40-something years, I saw my dad. Well, let me back up a little bit. Actually, I started dating you so that I can have some peace, not that my dad was bad, but if you came up in the era that we came up in, it was difficult.
Yeah.
And so, but I ended up attracting myself to someone that was exactly like my dad. He had the same qualities of my dad, the good and the bad. And so, because again, I was looking for a familiarity, and I walked right into it.
Yeah. I got a feeling if you do a poll, and we got 3 ladies on the show right now, 2 of you out of the 3 with someone just like your daddy.
Wow.
And if we had 10 women in here, 9 of you out of 10 would have the same issue.
I'm gonna put this out to the the Carter crew out there, the people that are out there listening, the question that you just asked, you want to ask it again, and I want to hear from them. What was the question?
What was the question?
Oh my God.
No.
You see.
You asked you asked if women tend to go after guys who are like their father,
Yeah.
regardless of their relationship with their father.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good, bad, or indifferent.
I have to comment on it because my dad was my best friend.
Mhm.
Okay, we were
And so was
extremely
mine.
close.
Mhm.
But what's funny is not just have I dated guys that were like him, but the kind of relationship that me and my dad had is what I seek after, what I did seek after. Like, okay, I'll just use this for an example. My dad was like my best friend.
Okay.
So in relationships, instead of kind of like going towards like a relationship in a romantic sense, I would connect with somebody off of them being my best friend, like somebody I could chill with.
Right.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
and there are some other things too, but that question just really, what you just said really resonated with me because that is so very true.
Yeah.
Even down to like my dad being old school, he liked old school cars, so I would tend to go towards guys that had old hearts.
Yeah.
Well,
You know?
I think a lot of that has to do, again, it's where you're familiar with,
Mhm.
what you was comfortable.
Yeah.
Because from my dad, I'm a daddy's girl.
Mhm.
I was a daddy's girl, and my daddy hung the moon.
Right.
Even though he didn't always get it right,
Mhm.
he hung the moon, and in my eyes, everything he did was right
Right.
until he did it wrong.
Right.
Okay.
I don't want to talk too much, but I do want to offer kind of honestly a different, quite the opposite actually. I did not have a great relationship with my father. He was, for the most part, estranged from my life, like kind of hopping in and out. Was very generous when he was in my life, and I definitely sought after. And, you know, issues with like drugs and stuff like that too. You know what I mean? And so I definitely sought after people who I knew from the moment I met them, they were no good for me. My dad was also in the military, and I went through a little military guy phase, and that was not, you know what I mean?
Yes.
You know, good for my lifestyle and stuff like that. So I almost was doing it. I think I was self-sabotaging, like, and I hadn't learned yet that like, you can do better. You can, you know, go not better, but just different, you know, something different for you. You don't have to subscribe to what was given to you or just what you know, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
And then, you know, I didn't raise the question to really just bash fathers because I am a father myself. However, it is the root to, I believe, why we in the subject matter is why do you go back for more? I think that is a root
I
to
think
why we go back.
I think it stems from something in your childhood. I
Mhm.
mean,
Absolutely.
Yes.
I think
Yes.
all of our actions, everything that we do, we were formed. Our thoughts, everything is started from when we were young. RJ, I'm gonna ask you this question.
Yeah.
What bad habits you have had to break? What habits have you been most difficult to break, and why?
In regards to relationship,
In regards to relationship and going backwards.
one of my biggest bad habits was I would overly take care of in hopes to keep them.
Wow.
So I would get the flowers. And yes, I love them, but I did that to make sure that they were secured.
And you
So
still
I
couldn't
didn't do it because I really just wanted to give it to him like a just cuz gift or something like that. I was like almost sewing into our marriage or sewing into our relationships instead of, I also wanted them to like me and continue to like me.
Right.
And so
You
that
can't
was
pay
one of my
nobody to
biggest,
like you.
look, that's what and I didn't realize I was doing that until I think I got out.
Well, of course, there you go. Because as long as you're in something and you're still that sick person, broke person in there, it's nothing. You don't see anything wrong with it.
Yeah.
Tiffany, I see you looking at me. You want some of this? Because I got cards flying at me telling me I got to go to break. And
well, I'll just say it really fast then. My toxic habit was looking for the same person over and over and over again. Just going back to the same person in different forms. That's all. Just whoever was still comfortable for me, that was not going to cause any growth.
See, we all was on crack cocaine. See, we didn't even know it.
You know what?
See,
Why?
y'all
Why?
was chasing it in individuals. I actually smoked the pipe, so
Okay.
y'all all was still chasing the pipe just like I was, you know,
Okay,
but
so-
in a different form. Amen.
Amen. Tell the truth. That's right.
I love
That's
that.
on the Love and Victory Show with Val. We are honest and candid.
Candid
But you've been
conversation.
delivered. Thank God.
Amen.
I
Hallelujah.
keep seeing Yielded on
And
here.
so
She's-
there is opportunity for you to be delivered from that toxic relationship as well. You
Mhm.
know, as you see,
But
brother. Carter
But
right
it's
here.
not the deliver from the toxic relationship. It's you needing
Yeah.
some help. And that's the thing
Right.
that we have to really remember. Putting it on someone else
Right.
is not dealing with you.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
Sheila did
good.
it's good.
Mhm.
I want to shout. I see she's on here, and I
Yeah.
appreciate you being in. What is she saying over there? Because you know I can't read it from that. part.
She said, unresolved toxic episodes tend to seek more toxicity, which leads to going back for more.
That is so.
And that reminds me, it's like a cycle. And
It
I think
is.
it's almost like you know, whenever they say in psychology class they'll like make a noise and then you'll like taste something, and they kind of do that over and
Yeah.
over.
Uh-huh.
It's that cycle and I find myself, now that I'm in a more healthy, happy relationship, where like I almost want something bad to happen. Like I almost
More
want
excitement.
the toxicity, because I'm like, well, we're going to be really happy after. We're going to have a really good like moment. We're going to connect. We're going to cry together.
Yeah.
We're going to be closer, but we just need to go through this really bad moment.
Yeah.
And I always have to tell myself, like, that's not true.
Right.
You don't have to do all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, I know we
That
have-
was a song called "Break Up to Make Up" when I was coming
Yep.
up. You know.
Mhm. So in other words, you got excited for the. You wanted to cause a problem, so you
Right.
You can have
enjoy
the-
Yep.
Well,
The
have
we
serotonin
thought
after.
that was
Yeah.
something to do. You
Oh,
know?
Very
okay.
much so.
Yeah.
And that's still, I think that's still a thing.
I think it is still a thing too.
Yeah.
Mhm. Okay. Yeah. we gonna go to break.
That's all we do.
So if you guys
First you
can give us
love
a
me.
moment, and we will be right back. I love you so, but you know he just be all out of control. Look at you. Okay, I am back.
Mhm.
Back with the Love and Victory Show with Val. Brother Carter,
Mhm.
what you got to say about this show this morning?
Epic.
Epic.
I love that.
What about you, RJ?
It is very exposing.
Ooh. Ooh, I like
Very
that. I have See, we got
exposing.
educated.
And I will say exposing as of exposing the truth about people,
Mhm.
exposing people's true feelings, and exposing myself a little bit.
Right.
Then. All right, then. I love
Very
it. And what do
revealing.
you have to say, Tiffany?
I just say very revealing. Very revealing.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I miss Stephanie on the show this morning
Yeah.
because she always give me a word I've never heard before. So
Oh, that's right. So,
She does.
she bring those
Yeah.
oh man, she bring a word in
bring
here.
A word in. I took a
So we gonna see Miss Stephanie next what is it, third?
the third Saturday of every month.
Yes.
All right. Okay. So we have a question from.
Yes, we have a question from Facebook from Millie Bobby Brown. She said,
Bobby Brown on the show.
no, I don't think it's the
You got Bobby Brown.
Sir, Bobby.
Have you guys ever questioned yourself that you might be the toxic one in the relationship?
Well, I'll
Absolutely.
take that first. I'll take that first. I was the toxic one, and that can be because a lot of
I
times
mean, you was or you are.
I was.
Oh.
Oh, stay over
Ooh.
here.
Uh-oh.
Shots fired.
Tiffany, let's go. Tiffany, let's go.
I actually was. And you know, and when I say that, sometimes that can go in and out.
Yeah.
You know, full transparency. It's not like I'm perfect. We're you know, even though sometimes we think we are. But
Who perfect?
you're not perfect, Brother Carter.
No.
No, you
No?
know you're not, baby. You're not.
Oh my.
Oh my. So I can say that I can be, or I was, the toxic person, depending on the situation. But the toxicity comes from me feeling vulnerable about something that is either is triggering, you know, something you don't want to deal with, or something that hurts you. So yeah.
You are the toxic one.
Oh my God.
May I add that?
Go ahead.
I think it's
Hold up,
toxic.
RJ.
Well,
Let me finish my why she the toxic one.
You the co-host. I forgot my fault.
Yeah, because once I had you in my arms, I just could not have enough of you. I just wanted you more and more and more. You was just that toxic.
I was that toxic.
Yes,
Did y'all hear that? Y'all thought he was saying something. That's what I made right there.
That's goals right there.
Oh yeah. I can cook you some eggs and we leave.
Come on, eggs.
Okay, what were you getting ready to say?
So I was gonna say that I think that anything toxic, there's always two parts.
Yes.
There's somebody that's coming back. Then there's also somebody that is, doing it. You know what I'm saying? There's always this.
It's always.
And so it can't be a toxic relationship if that toxic relationship then left, or that one person then left.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I think in every toxic situation, there's always both of them,
Yes,
or
of
whatever
course.
the relationship is. It's toxic
Yeah.
for sure.
It's
definitely toxic. You keep going back to it.
Yeah.
You know,
Terry
that make you the toxic one.
That's right.
Okay, we have a question, but I have to say what Terry Alexander just said. Today, Carter is being a savage one. So I guess you are being the one, Carter. You
the Carter too.
They was talking about you. They were talking about Brother Carter. Okay, no. Go ahead with your question.
Okay, this question is from her name is Jeanette Valster. RJ, again, you're popular today.
Come on, what's going on?
Have you ever thought that your life might be different if you had made a different choice in the past?
Oh,
wow.
Have you ever thought that your life might be different if you had made a different choice in the past? Yes, absolutely. Do I want it to be different? No, because I really enjoy how the Lord kind of makes it for your good at the end. And so the lessons that I have learned, I would do it again.
You know, I say that too, and I'm not trying to steal any of your thunder, but I wouldn't change anything about good or bad of my experiences, because I had to go through that to get to where I'm at. To be okay to stand up in it.
Yes, because
Right.
I'm pretty sure if I did not, or if I made a different choice, I wouldn't be here in Texas. I wouldn't be here on the Love and Victory show with Val. I just wouldn't be here. So
well, you know what? I'm glad that journey brought you here.
I'm glad it did too. I'm telling you.
I think we got something else. I see something from Jennifer Barnes. What was her question?
She said, I have questioned that, and maybe putting yourself in these relationships repeatedly, does it make it at least partially on you or me? I think she's referring to saying like, can you be the toxic one?
What?
Yeah.
But and again, you put yourself, and it goes back to what Tiffany was saying earlier. You go back. You want to go ahead and take on that?
Well, I had even said it takes two to tango. So
Yeah.
I feel like both people absolutely must be toxic, for sure. But what was her?
She was just talking about she going back and forth, going back to the relationship because it's familiar.
Oh yes, it's familiar, and even when it's not safe for your mental, it feels safe. And I have to say, for me, this is just full transparency on myself. I am uncomfortable in situations where it's something is new to me. And so I would return to the same thing no matter how bad it was, just because it didn't force me to grow. It didn't force me to make any changes.
I like that. That's powerful right there. So you're saying that because you don't like dealing with new things, because new things was going to bring up something that was
uncomfortable
You
for
went
me.
right back to the thing that you knew was bad for you.
Yes. And then even when something really good would be in front of me, I'd be like, oh no, this is too much. Let me just go back over here. I already know what to experience over here. I already know what's gonna happen. I already know what the life is like with this person every day. I know this devil. He's very familiar.
Yeah.
I'm very familiar.
And I'm glad
with
you
him.
put that on there.
For real.
Yeah.
I'm very familiar with this devil. So even though it hurts to play with him, I already know his game. I already got him figured out. So it's we good. But going on to something new is like, oh wait, I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know what this is gonna look like for me. So no matter how bad it was, I was willing to stay there because I knew what it was.
So
you're sitting there with a whole black eye, and you talking about a girl. It wasn't that bad. He mean to do it.
I knew
I
he was gonna
upset
get
him.
up. No.
so let me ask the question, Tiffany.
I need your girl that was on the show with you before.
Ooh.
The one that shot her husband.
Oh, she'll be back on the show next month.
Yeah. What's
But
her
you
name?
just don't say nothing. We're gonna mute his mic in a minute, y'all. Brother Carter is in timeout. So if y'all don't hear anything from his coming out of his, there you go.
Yeah,
He's in
that's it.
time
That's it.
out. He's in time out.
Golly.
So
What Jennifer Barnes want to know what I had for breakfast? What the?
no,
That's old.
I said I was gonna cook you breakfast. But
Yeah.
your thought you just slow
Oh,
on the reading it. Okay.
This is my breakfast right here.
Okay. All righty. Did you want some of this, RJ?
I really wanted to say I went back for more because I wanted that testimony. So like I wanted to have that movie. We've been through so much, but our love was busted through it, and we, that scripture that says love heal all wounds. I wanted my love to heal all the wounds.
Don't you think that's putting too much pressure on the other individual when you want them to come save you?
Yes.
Okay, that's so unfair.
Oh
Yes.
no, what if you want to be the one that want to save?
And
all
also
the time?
too, yeah.
Well, actually,
yeah,
I put pressure on
Yeah.
my husband because like I said, I started off in this relationship wanting him to save me. And I carried that in our relationship for a very long time. Even though I didn't verbalize it, even though I didn't recognize it, I still held him responsible for my happiness.
Ugh.
Yeah. And go ahead, be truthful. I'm the only one that was there.
Right. And
I
a lot of people, I'm glad you said that. Because I'm no savior.
No, you're not.
And I can't save anyone.
But here's the thing, when you don't know, and that's the thing I
Right.
think a lot of times we mess up because you're on different levels in your spiritual walk.
Yeah.
Some have none. You were on meat, and I was still on Similac. And so when you're on Similac and you have someone on meat, you were my giant.
Meat. I thought you said like MEEK, meek. You say MEAT, meat. Okay.
Y'all see why he's
right.
been
No,
yeah.
yeah.
So you were the one that I looked to, and I thank God for your strength on that, though. But anyway,
I did want to
Go
add
ahead.
one more thing to that, y'all. As far as going back for more too, for me, it was I noticed that I like to go to people that I wanted to fix. Like I want to love you to life. So, I would keep going back like, no, you're still not fixed. So let me keep coming back to you over and over and over again.
but I think we do that because it's not about them. It's still about us.
It's still about us. Yeah.
Yeah.
I really
Yeah.
like what Tiffany said about the fixer thing. And I
Yeah.
think that's what so many of us do, especially as women.
Yes.
And like, I think, have you ever felt like you didn't leave because you felt like they needed you?
Yes.
And you almost felt a sense like of guilt. Like, well, if I leave, I'll be fine, but they'll be screwed over.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. Who's going
And
to help
people will
them
play
if I
with
leave?
that.
Yes.
People
they
will play with
do.
that. People will play with that, and they'll like. I had a friend that was in a relationship, very, very toxic, and it got to a point where now every time they chose to leave or have that conversation to break up, that person would be mentally unstable, questioning whether their life is really worth it.
Yes.
Hey, I'm gonna hurt myself later tonight.
And
if
that
you don't
was
come
manipulation.
Home. Manipulation. Yeah.
Manipulation. Oh, we got a question and a comment. Go ahead.
We have a question from Michael Smith on Facebook.
Okay.
Hey, Mike.
People suffer in toxic relationships very much. Do you guys believe that time heals any physical or mental wound?
I think I'm not a licensed therapist. I'm not a doctor, but I can speak for myself. And this is just my opinion. I think that when you're in a toxic relationship, whether it's good or bad, I would recommend that you seek some help.
Right.
Sometimes you have to step out of it because it just kind of going, you understand, just riding that wheel is almost like a hamster, just being on the wheel, nothing is getting fixed. So
Yeah, my unlicensed aspect of
your
that
unlicensed would be what?
is that all time heals all wounds. Yeah, y'all have heard that said before. Time heals all wounds, but it won't heal a wound unless you want the wound to be healed.
Yeah.
Right
Yeah.
there. Right there.
Yeah.
Right there.
Start right there.
Start right there.
As a shout out to my daughter.
I
Start right there.
I wanted to add too, it will only heal it if you know it's there.
There
too.
you go.
Yeah. Because sometimes, even for me, sometimes I'm like, certain things may happen and it'll trigger something, even like to tears sometimes. And I'll be like, what, I thought I was done with that. But obviously my mind is showing me I'm not. There's healing that needs to still be done. If I cry at the thought of something,
Right.
even the sight of something.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Allow time to be a part of the equation.
Yes.
Yes.
I would
not
say.
the
Yes.
solution.
Not the solution.
Right.
You don't leave. Well, you do leave the situation, but you take that time as well as counseling,
And
as
that
well
pain.
as pain, as well as acknowledgement, as well as all those things.
Self-evaluation, self-development.
Yes,
you know?
yes. So everything takes time.
Yeah.
Everything. There's a time and a place and a time for everything. Right.
Everything.
So we have to allow the time to pass.
Right.
Well, we have our very own Justin B. Long. My brother is on here.
Come on.
Good morning, Justin. How you doing? How you doing? All righty. Well, what did Justin? I see his name came across, but I couldn't read what he said.
Justin said, expectations are premeditated resentments.
Oh,
And that's a
I
good
like
one.
that.
y'all see why? Justin,
Say that again.
Say it again, Justin.
Expectations are premeditated resentments.
Golly.
I like
I
that.
need him on the show to just break that all the way down.
Yeah.
That's how you can become the toxic one too, right? Like, let's say you get cheated on and you take that person back, but then every day you remind them how they cheated on you.
Right.
Every single day you're like, well, remember when you did that? It's like you're also being the toxic one because you are resenting them and actively putting that on them every day rather than just letting go.
Right,
Exactly.
right. Now, I can't even go to the grocery store because you worried I'm going to do what I did.
Yes. Back then.
Yeah.
I'm still holding you hostage to what happened back then, and you done moved
You
forward.
need to cut that crap.
Cut that crap. Okay. Cut that crap. Cut that crap.
That is funny.
You have something.
Justin said something else too. He said, time might put a scab on it, but definitely does not heal.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh
I
my.
can agree with that.
Oh, so you got some heavy.
No,
hitters.
Oh, I have to,
yeah.
let me tell you something. Yeah.
Oh, see, you can't wait till the first Saturday, huh, JB Long?
Right.
He said, y'all thought I wasn't going to be on the show. I'm on the show.
That's funny.
All righty then. I'm actually, oh God, I told you guys that I was going to do something. So can we put the, I'm so sorry. We got something foolish going on.
What happened? What's going on? Well, keep talking.
Okay. So can we put the I'm going to give tickets away.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to put the ad. We have the flyers that we can put up for. We don't have it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. RJ.
I'm
RJ.
rushing.
I know. RJ.
I'm rushing.
Tell us about it. Tell us about it. You
We
know
have a
about
comedy show
we have
coming in.
Tell them about that
The Gospel Comedy Entertainment is having a
concert.
comedy show.
There you go.
They're having that comedy show on February 4th. So there's a wonder of people that's going to be there, from comedians, from we have Yielded that's going to be hosting.
Yes.
So many different things that's happening, right? And it's going to be amazing. It's going to be, I think it's the women.
Yeah, it's for
So
women.
it's so it's all women comedians. Y'all, it's all women comedians, but everybody is welcome.
So everybody's welcome.
And it's clean comedy.
And it's clean comedy. And the we were so grateful. What's his name? Ike on the
Yes,
mic
Ike on the mic.
gave us tickets to give the Love and Victory show to give out to our listeners.
And he's
And
the producer and conductor of the show.
So we're gonna go ahead and give those away. So remember, I said the ones that give the best comments, I'm gonna go ahead at the end. We're giving 2 sets out.
Queens of Comedy.
Queens of Comedy.
Queens of Comedy.
What's the date on that?
February 4th, 2023
Oh,
at
yeah.
7:30 p.m.
That's here in Houston.
Yep. At the Match Theater.
Because we got to remember we're talking to a worldwide audience.
That's right.
So if you're here in Houston locally, and if you're anywhere, you might want to just come to Houston.
Yeah, come to Houston. It's going to be worth it.
Your comments are going to be, so I'm going to go back to I'm going to let Brother Carter. Brother Carter, you want to ask a question before we get to the end, and then I'm going to judge. I want you to ask a question because, you're pretty edgy today.
Okay.
So you're edgy today. So throw that out there. What you got for it?
Okay. So, RJ,
Mm-hmm.
now that you have gotten out of the toxic relationship, I don't know if you have or not, but
it's been, yes, I'm out of it.
Okay.
Let's not question that. I'm out of it. Yeah.
So now that you're out of the toxic relationship, what would keep you from going back into another toxic relationship? Because we also, everybody we deal with, the creature of habit, yes, and we all have this addiction to certain things in life, certain people in life. What would stop you from doing it again?
Studying my triggers, studying my, studying your demons.
I like that.
Study your demons. Know what makes you tick. Knows what makes you upset, and then also introducing yourself to healthy
relationships. Right.
Introduce yourself to healthy, and also study what's unhealthy.
And so, if you see yourself, you see one of those triggers pop up in your current relationship, would you just take over? Would you just leave the relaip?
No, because I believe that everybody has a level of toxicity, and so that doesn't mean that toxicity is it's bad, but everybody has it. And so sometimes there's toxicity and there's goodness. Look at my levels, y'all. Toxicity and goodness. And so we have to be able to kind of decipher, okay, do they know about this? And if they know about it, what are they doing that fix it? Or what kind of feedback or what kind of growth are they trying to do?
Right.
So I take a step back for a moment to kind of reevaluate what's going on, and then we kind of move forward. If
so, you're very comfortable now having the conversation when something is brought up.
Very much so. Very much so.
I feel like that's important too. It's not about, because like you said, everybody's toxic. Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody does things that their significant other, best friend, mother, whatever isn't going to like, right? It's about how you respond to the situation and how you amend it. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then going forward, repetitive mistakes too.
That's right.
Yeah.
I see there's someone is that a question someone just put up? I think it came from, just saw it pop up on there. Sandy?
Yes. Sandy Park said, for physical wounds,
Hey, Sandy.
it might be healed with time and treatment, but for mental wounds, some wounds can't be healed even with time. It might make you forget about it for a long time, but it won't ever heal it.
Yeah.
Well, I
disagree.
Sandy, I appreciate your response on that. But I do believe that you can. There are some things that you can be. I disagree somewhat because I do think that through treatment, through counseling, I think we can be healed. Because for me, honestly, if I
you can get over it, baby. You'll never get over me.
Okay, baby.
Yeah. Let's start there.
My God.
Okay, you know what?
Y'all goals. Y'all goals.
They really are.
I can say for me, Brother Carter, nobody better not say nothing about it. You can say whatever you want to say. I can say for me, I got over a lot of my trauma and pain. And I think a lot of also, I really recognize how much I grew right through the Love and Victory show. As I have people coming on here pouring into our listeners,
Mhm.
I'm also being poured into, but I also see my growth.
Yeah.
And the things that I have that are still triggers, I'm able to recognize it. And
Mhm.
so I'm able to go back and kind of reflect and deal with it. So I do believe that having a conversation, start talking about it instead of just masking it and covering it up,
Yeah.
Mhm.
starts the healing.
Mhm.
And so that's why God gave us this
Wow.
platform.
The day of sweeping it under the rug is over. Huh?
No,
Yeah.
no, you got to deal with that stuff.
Yeah.
I want to, again, one more time, anybody that I need two people, four, whoever, give me
How
your
many
best.
tickets? 2 or 4 tickets?
I'm giving 4, but I'm giving it out as couples.
Okay.
As
Okay.
couples, so you don't go by yourself.
Mhm.
And you can even get it in studio. No, I won't let y'all win nothing. I ain't gonna let y'all win nothing. So
I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be taking pictures. So.
oh, you will.
Yeah, I'll be there.
You know he'll be there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to ask this question, and whoever gives me the best answer, that's where we're going to go with.
Mhm.
Okay. When things in life are going well, do you feel a sense of anxiety that something bad is going to happen?
Yeah.
And if
Abigail do.
Okay.
Sometimes,
Okay.
She stated it already.
yes.
She's
Well,
looking forward.
can someone tell me why is that?
Can you reset that question one more time for me?
When things in life is going well, do you feel a sense of anxiety
Mhm.
that sometime bad things are going to happen?
Too good to be
And
true.
why?
Yeah.
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 It's that quote that says, "Oh, this is too good to be true."
Mhm.
What's gonna happen? Something has to happen, and I think life kind of trained us to be that way.
Mhm.
Everything is happening. First of all, let me say this: life be lifing. So
Life be life.
life be lifing. You know what I'm saying? Life is never going to be perfect.
Mhm.
Life is born into sin, right? So they're born into this world that is literally full of mess. So
Mhm.
life is always going to happen. I think life kind of makes it, kind of gives us this expectation that, okay, well, I'm doing really good right now. Somebody gonna die, or somebody's
Yes.
something's gonna happen.
Yes.
So I think that is very true. I think that I do that sometimes. I'm in something healthy now, and I'm like, okay,
You're waiting on the shoe to drop.
yeah,
And it's not gonna happen.
you know, and it's not gonna happen, and it doesn't have to happen. That's what Abby said. It does not have to happen.
Mhm.
You wanted to say something because I wanted to
Yeah.
go back to
Mhm.
something earlier. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to say too, when you're used to a life full of trauma and drama too, peace is like so unfamiliar for you.
Mhm.
So you're looking for commotion because you're like, wait a minute. So you tell me I'm supposed to just have a good day? Like we're not supposed to be fighting and arguing. We're supposed to just like enjoy each other's company. And then that's when you get into, like you said, you start looking for ways to create arguments because that's the only way you know how to operate. That's what you've gotten used
Help us
to.
today, Lord
So
Jesus.
you look up and you'll start disrupting your own peace.
Yeah.
Mhm.
God is giving you something new and you keep going back to what you're familiar to, and then you destroy your new relationship.
That's
because
right.
all you know is, well, I got to
Chaos.
create something. Let me just call him and just go off for no reason, have his mind going. So then that way when we get home, we can make up. It doesn't have to be that way. So
So the mindset of just enjoying the moment, not there.
No,
'Cause-
no, it's not there. Remember, see, some people, you had said earlier,
Yeah.
you like to break up to make up.
yeah.
Remember you said that earlier.
Yeah, but we're talking about
but same
being
thing.
in-
But that's how they feel.
But sometimes I'm just gonna say that. Sometimes when things are going well,
Mhm.
when things are at peace,
Yeah.
when things are at love, when things are at joy and happiness,
Right.
you need to what's that word? Relish
the moment.
Yeah. You need
Look at RJ.
grab a hold of the moment.
RJ was looking like y'all literally have to see his face. Your face is like, but if Stephanie was here,
She would have had it.
She'd have had it.
Shout out to Stephanie. We miss you, bro.
You need to grab that moment and enjoy it because it's not here often and long.
Yeah.
And so when those moments do come, embrace it.
I had to say that, Brother Carter, because I don't know about the older generation, but this generation will break up with people because they say it's boring. It wasn't enough going on.
I gotta go.
Yeah,
Yes, you're right. You're right.
You'll
You're
be
right.
like, but wait, what was wrong with that person? They just
didn't have no judge about them. They didn't
have that going on
That's
every
true.
day.
Very true.
That
For real.
sounds like insanity.
Yeah.
It is, and that's what she's saying. This generation is
Insane.
It's our society. I think society and
yes.
TV has really made it
Yes.
seem like
Drama.
that if you don't have
drama going on.
Wow.
you ain't got nothing going on.
What are you
So
fighting
that's
for?
why they do that on television like they do.
Yeah,
Because that's-
all the little love and hip hops and love and basketball and all
Yes.
those different love shows. It has to have something detrimental
All
in
of-
it.
and they have the
order-
audacity to put the word love in it.
That's
Yes.
right.
Yes.
That's right.
Well, I'm going to. It's time before I wrap up the show.
Mhm.
I'm going to give my
Time well spent with you, Val.
Well spent. Well spent. Now I want you to read me a few of the comments.
Okay.
I know I can do little bitty things. And then
All
I'm
right.
going to judge on which one stuck with me the most.
All right. So I will just repeat the question that we asked here on the air. Miss Carter or Val asked, when things in life are going well, do you feel a sense of anxiety that something bad might happen? Shay said, God sees a much bigger picture of our lives, and we have a little bit of faith, which causes us to always think negatively. So that's what she said. I'll say that again because I kind of stuttered. God sees a much bigger picture of our lives, and we have little faith, which causes us to think negatively.
Mm.
Mhm.
So we just don't have faith in what's to come.
Yeah, you put a period at the end of that one.
Yeah.
man. That's good.
Okay.
Lanita Bennett said, I think we all experience that, but on different levels. We have to learn to celebrate during the goodness and prepare ourselves for the unexpected. We should always be ready so we don't have to get ready.
Oh,
Mm.
I love it.
All right, Lanita.
That's my
All right,
daughter. Go
Lanita,
on,
man.
head on. Yes.
Come on,
Okay.
get ready, stay ready.
Next.
Morgan May said, I think we look for things to go wrong when we think we are not deserving on what's good.
Ooh, that's good.
I
Can
like
you repeat that one more time?
I think we look for things to go wrong when we think we are not deserving of what's good.
Okay.
Wow.
And was that the last one?
Um,
They're kind of rolling.
pretty much, yeah.
Okay. Well,
So we had
You the host.
Shay.
That's a hard job.
We had
man.
It's not
Shay,
hard for me.
Morgan, and Lanita.
well, I'm gonna say this. Since my daughter is my daughter and we don't cheat on here, I would if she'd have just said good morning, I would have said she gave the best answer. So I'm not gonna get she can't win. I'll put that disclaimer.
Sorry, daughter. We love you.
So you can't get it. But
That was a beautiful comment.
that was
though,
it was
Lanita.
so on point. I want repeat.
So Shay said, or let's find it. Yeah, Shay said, God sees a much bigger picture of our lives, and we have a little faith, which causes us to think negatively.
I really like that comment.
You like that one?
I like that one. And I want to go back up earlier. I'm a cheat. There was Miss Barnes.
Okay.
I think she also deserves a and it's
Well, Shay and Miss Barnes are friends, so they could.
well,
Yeah.
they don't need to get it if they know each other. They can go together. I'm gonna give it to somebody else.
Wait a minute. They not together. They know each other.
Oh, they not.
They may
together.
have two
They may have
different.
they may have taken dates out. Huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna give those two the tickets. I didn't know they were friends, but okay. But again, Brother Carter, I'm the host. I might.
Well,
You just
you
being
said-
fair. I know.
I love them.
I just love that.
Oh,
You know what I'm
I'm
saying?
co-host. I just try to keep
That was
things.
good,
keep-
baby.
keep
You
things-
right. We're gonna let them take. They might have a date. I like how you think about it that way. So y'all so
They
deserving.
might have a husband or something, man.
I know. I don't
Let's see.
know. Thank you, baby.
All right.
Yeah. All righty. So they get the tickets.
All right, y'all can send us a message on Facebook, and I will get you your information to get those tickets.
All righty
dope.
then.
That's dope. Congratulations. It's gonna be a good show.
Congratulations, Shay and Jennifer.
It's that time where I need to go around the room and ask oh wow, the final thoughts. Go ahead. You got something?
Yeah, I got final thoughts.
Okay,
I'll
give me-
give some final thoughts.
Yes.
I was super excited to have this conversation, mainly because I think I needed it myself.
Right.
Which I think every time we have these conversations, I'm always like, man, I didn't even really realize I needed this that much.
Yeah.
Right.
And so my final thoughts are, just always put yourself first, set boundaries for yourself and respect them.
Yes.
Mhm.
Because other than that, like you're going to take advantage of yourself, and that's going to let other people take advantage of you, and you're going to be in situations that are just going to bring you down. And always think of the next step in life, whether that be in your relationship or your career.
Yeah.
You always have the next step in mind
Mhm.
For yourself.
for yourself. You'll hardly ever be holding yourself back.
All
Yeah.
right.
Amen.
And Christian,
Yeah.
what did you get out of the show?
I think it's a good message. Today's show like really reminded me just like how like resilient people can be, especially like in toxic relationships. Like no matter how bad it could be, like most people will bounce back and like be good
Yes.
after the fact.
I like that. That's good.
Resilient.
And Tiffany.
I'm the same way as you, girl. I knew that. I was like, man, this is really for me. It's like that every single time. It's like
Every week,
how did y'all
Every
know that I'm
time.
dealing with this right now? But for me, what I got from this is that to make sure moving forward in any relationship to do a self-reflection of myself. To make sure that I'm not carrying over from the last to the next, and to also constantly ask myself, what am I doing to make this relationship toxic? Did you learn from the last one? Are we going back to the same thing again, just in a different form? Is this person just taller? You know what I mean? So that's what I'm going to look for in the next, just to be more cautious of, and to make sure that I'm not continuing to go back to the same thing over and over again.
Amen.
All righty.
Amen.
And RJ.
This conversation reminds me of a post that I made probably in the beginning of the week. And I said, I'm breaking out of being comfortable, complacent, and compromised.
Right.
And so those are my 3 words, well, along with some others, but those are my 3 words this year: comfortable, complacent, and compromised. Do I feel those? And how long do I feel those? And then if I feel those, is it because the Lord put me there? Or is it because I have sat myself there?
Oh, wow.
And if I have sat myself there,
You can
it's time to get up.
Time to pick yourself.
Right.
Get up out of there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, RJ, this is your first time
It
on the Love and
is.
Victory show. And can you tell me what your experience is like? Tell the listeners.
Y'all, it's amazing in here. It's not that I felt, I was like, I'm coming on here with auntie and uncle. That's what I thought in my head. You know what I'm saying? And so when you do that, you think that it's going to be more of a, and it is still a family environment, right? But it's more of a upscale family environment. I'm comfortable. It's true. These people are real. This is not turn off the cameras and now they're totally different people. They're very consistent. And I'm almost speechless, and it's really hard to get me speechless. It's really hard to get me speechless. So I really, really, really appreciate this opportunity. I really, really appreciate being on. I just feel like if I'd have made it on the Victory and Love and Victory with Val show, I done made it. I done made it. I can go on to glory now. I can go on to glory.
Well, I thank you
God
so
bless
much.
you,
God
man.
bless
God
you.
bless
You know,
Absolutely.
I thank you so much, RJ. From the very first time I met you, you just showed so much love and so much respect, just genuine to me and to Brother Carter.
Yeah.
I had to have you on here.
Absolutely.
And you will be back.
Yes, I will. Come
bring
on.
Such a good, positive energy on here. And I think that you have a lot that you can offer our listeners too, because everybody is going through, but you're relatable.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Absolutely.
Very much so.
Absolutely.
If you don't mind,
Go ahead.
he can be heard.
Oh yes. How could
They can hear you on different
on different.
platforms?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, not today. So let's just go ahead.
Okay, I'll
Tiffany,
just-
how was your experience? How was your experience on the Love and Victory show?
It is always amazing. And I mean this every single time I leave, the whole ride back home, I'm always thinking like, Lord, did you like make this show like that segment for this week is specifically for me?
Yeah.
It's like a mirror.
Mm.
Like being put up for me every time. I love that I come here and it is an environment where I can be free to be myself. It's a whole spirit of self-healing almost in this room where you can say, hey, this is some things I need to correct.
Absolutely.
Every time I leave here, I want to be more accountable for my own actions. And it's not just this week, it's literally every single time. And I love
God bless you.
being in a room with y'all is amazing. I love being
Such good examples, huh? It's just such good examples.
If
I
y'all
love
can be
it
in this
too.
room with them and feel their energy and how naturally they flow, you just like, I love being.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And Brother Carter.
I can hear my children say, y'all just don't know.
Yeah, they give y'all a show.
And Brother Carter, how was it for you?
Final thoughts for me would be, wow. First and foremost, I'm so gratified to have you both on the show today, man. Y'all truly good speakers to this show, and you have some positive words to give to our listeners or subscribers, or what do you want to call
The Carter crew.
Carter crew? Yeah, there you go. Carter crew.
crew.
So thank y'all for doing that. And my final thoughts would be piggybacking off of Abigail. Lord have mercy, I went blank.
Okay.
Think of yourself a little bit more. Start giving yourself a lot more grace than you do.
Yes.
And stop looking for others to make you feel something that you want to feel for yourself. So just self-evaluate yourself and just kind of make yourself first.
I love that. I love that.
It would be my final thought of the day.
And my final thought today is, I love the Love and Victory show with Val. I love it because God gave it to me. And I am healed every time I sit down and I have a conversation. So if I can leave anybody with anything, start the conversation. When you start having a conversation, you start the healing process. You'll find that your story is no different than someone else. You're not alone. Just come out, start talking. To my guests, I love y'all. Thank y'all so much. And again, Stephanie, I hope you feel better soon. And RJ and Tiffany is on every third Saturday of the month. Every third Saturday of the month. So make sure you guys tune in. It's actually one of our highest viewing shows. They actually do love her, Miss Stephanie.
What? It's more popular than the men show?
Oh, yeah.
Well, oh my.
Yeah, I need to work on that.
Sorry.
But we definitely will have our.
We have to get those ratings up on the first Saturday.
Get them up. Get them up.
And thank you. And you guys can find us on all platforms, LV with Val. To our YouTubers.
Can I say one thing before you chime off? And as I look up at the screen, I can't help but think of my daddy. I look just like my daddy up there. So shout out to my daddy out there for making me such a good looking young man.
Come on.
You do look good.
All right.
You can find the Love and Victory show on all platforms, all social media platforms, LV with Val. And until next Saturday from 7 a.m. From 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. And we also are now tell them about the radio.
It's still a little bit in the works, but it'll be live on our website hopefully next week, lvwithval.com, where you can stream and listen to us on the radio. You don't have to watch it on social media if you don't want to, if you're in the car. That'll be in the works hopefully starting next week.
And also coming soon in about 2 weeks, maybe a little less, we will have our own app, LV with Val. So it'll be out there on Apple, in the store, in the Apple store.
Can I pre-order it? Hold on.
It will be in the Apple store as well as
I love that.
Google Play Store.
Yes. So don't sleep on the Love and Victory show.
Oh, I ain't sleeping.
God got his hand all over this thing.
Yeah.
And y'all may have seen our commercial earlier, but if you are watching and you want to start your own radio show or your own podcast, please reach out to us and we can
Hook you up.
hook you up.
Hey, well, for a small anonymous fee,
That's right.
all things are possible.
As we're going out, we have this wonderful voice.
You're not getting away without
Yes,
that.
you thought he was gonna go. As we
I was
go
about to get
out,
up and be like, all right, then we got
okay,
something. Okay.
we don't own the rights to it, but we're gonna go out.
I'm gonna give you
and
a
we gonna let
little
him
something.
We're gonna do it on
Fill
the
your
back.
soul up for the weekend.
Okay, so we're gonna say goodbye, and we're gonna do what we're gonna do, so we don't.